Hey everybody, it's your Survivor buddy Gordon Holmes here with the nerdiest thing you're going to do all week. I'm talking about the Survivor Power Rankings, so please welcome all my beautiful nerds out there in Cyberland. First off, I'd like to welcome today's member of the Reba Four, -1, +1, the dominant alliance from season 45. I'm pleased as punch to welcome Survivor 45 Streak It Lawyer, and there were a couple of them, Julie Alley. Welcome, Julie.
Hello, glad to be here.
So excited. And how brave of you to take up the mantle because we're throwing shots left and right at the Reba Four. We need a win here. So and I will admit I am entirely biased. I like you're from our exit press and watching on, you're a wonderful person. No, I hope you lose. Okay, I should be impartial as the host. I should be impartial, but come on, Owen, you gotta do
We
this
got it.
first.
We got to pull it out, man.
Oh, and I shouldn't talk to you before I've introduced you. On my team, Survivor Power Rankings All-Star, batting cleanup, ladies and gentlemen, one hand clapping against another makes a wonderful sound. For my knight in shining armor from Survivor 43, talking about Mr. Owen Knight. Owen, welcome.
Thank you, Gordon. Good to be back. I had a blast doing this with you for 44 and was honored to be invited back for the All-Star squad. Have we settled on a name yet?
I've something like Gordon's All-Star Team of Magnificent Victory is
That
something
rolls
I've
off the
been tossing
tongue.
around. If you have an idea, put it in the comment section.
I like Holmes homies. That was my suggestion in our group text that you did not respond to. So I don't know if we need to workshop it more, but
I don't love
I'm pumped to be on the
alliteration.
squad. It's a good group and excited to meet you, Julie. I know we were talking a second ago before we started recording, but I was a huge fan of yours. Loved watching your game. You played
Oh,
amazing.
thanks.
It's good
Thanks.
talking to
Back
you.
at you. I'm very excited to be here. Okay,
Yeah.
and my team name, it's Reba 4 -1
One
plus
plus one, because Dee
one.
couldn't do it because she was on
Yeah,
some other podcast. I don't know if you've heard
right,
the guy.
right.
Jeff Probst has his own podcast, and he scooped up Dee. But Kellie, oh, what a get! Like she did. Here's the thing: she defeated me, but in my defense, there was a medevac, and that was not
Oh,
Yeah,
teased in
that
the
was a
preview.
curveball no one could have
fair
anticipated.
enough.
So
Fair enough.
if my team loses by 4 points or less, you're gonna hear me screaming about that a lot. But let's get into last week's episode. Banu, not a shock, got the boot. It was rough. There was a point where he got on his knees in front of. I felt for Tiffany so bad. I always try to compare it to like if we were playing poker, if we were playing Monopoly, and it's like it's a game, guy. It's so like I had such sympathy for Tiffany in that moment. So Banu, a wonderful guy. Just the hand he was dealt didn't work out in his favor. What were your thoughts? We'll start off with Julie. What did you think about poor Banu?
I guess, are we just gonna say Banu or do we just say poor Banu? Like, is that what we say now? That was hard. It was hard. It was just hard to watch. Um,
You-
and I see how they took us through the stages of grief. I see that. Not sure that's what I'm going for. So my daughter's getting her master's in counseling, so I'm thinking she can use it. It
Yeah,
can be used.
I know. I was
It,
just like, there's
it,
14 other people out on Fiji. Can we see what are they up to? Anything interesting?
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Hey,
a lot of Banu. A lot of
we only
Banu.
got some Lulu time, and I was like, hey, we were
Mm.
doing fun stuff on Reba, but it is what it is. We got to see what happened.
Yeah.
So
We also saw some tension between Soda and Tevin out of the blue. Not surprising because they both kind of work the same angle, being the social butterflies. Owen, what were your thoughts on what happened there?
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. They both are very similar type of players. I imagine that they view each other as a potential threat to each other down the road. It's not every season that a Dominic and a Wendell can run the table and sit there together at the final three. Usually someone will try to chop the other, like we saw with Jesse and Cody on my season, for example. Um, I think it was Steven on the know-it-all saying he called it winning tribitis, where you start getting itchy and you get a little ants in your pants and you start thinking about a few steps down the road just because you haven't gotten to play yet. So I certainly know how that feels. Like we lost the first immunity challenge on Baca, but then we went the rest of the pre-merge without going to tribal. And there was a lot of tension. Obviously, we saw that explode with Ellie and Gabler once we hit Mergatory. So I'm curious if this is kind of setting the table for something like that. Because if I was a betting man, I would say Nami is not losing a challenge. They have Hunter, who is just a monster. He is so good at everything. So I can't imagine that they lose in the pre-merge. I really don't see it happening. So
Okay, I
I'm
agree with
curious.
that. There's the only thing, because like I talked to a lot of people, I made diagrams and all, and so
Oh wow, you came
one
prepared.
possible, all I was thinking, any chick, because I agree, I don't see Nami going to tribal, but unless they throw it,
Mm,
I don't see Hunter being the throw a challenge type.
not at
That's the
all.
only thing. I don't see that. But if Tevin could convince him just to get sewed out, if they get itchy and they're like, that's the only way. But
Mhm. I
that's a small percentage. Most
no,
of my rankings
I
go
like
to the
that
fact that
idea.
Nami's not going.
And if
But
just to workshop this a step further, if you're Tevin, you're telling Hunter, hey, Hunter, you can't do the hero role. Like your threat is
yes,
getting too big. Let me do the basketball.
huge.
Let me do the beanbag. And then he
Yep.
throws it. So you might be onto something.
Yeah.
I mean, he
There's a
didn't even
chance.
help Hunter in that last one. Like when he was getting
No.
rings, they all just sat there. I'm like,
Yeah.
they're just like, yeah, we got you go. So they
We've
just
got a
let him do
Hunter.
it
Yeah.
all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
tell you, I'm a huge believer in a season of Survivor. It depends a lot on the last season the cast saw before they went out, and possibly
Ooh,
if 45, I'm sorry, 46 did not see the Reba Four like stick together so well despite tribe splits and didn't break up until way late in the game. So maybe it would be different if they had had the Reba Four example to go off of. But yeah, it does seem
there.
a little early to be making these moves, especially considering how successful the Reba Four was in making that happen.
I'm not getting any vibes from anyone that they're as tight as the Reba Four was. I mean, I just am seeing like even Tevin and Hunter. I'm like, man, they're aligned, but are they an alliance? So they haven't. We'll see.
And we need to talk about this. The thing, like, watching Banu, poor Banu, was
Orban.
rough, but was rougher for me was Jem hiding the Beware advantage, which puts her in this position where, what if they figure out that it's fake and someone has planted it and she doesn't have a vote and they need her vote? Also, she lied to her closest ally. I
Yeah.
believe, is it Mariah who said, I think
Oh
it's
yeah.
Tim, and then she was like, oh, maybe it's Tim and Ben. If this all comes out, she just lied to the person she's closest with. So it seemed like, and it seemed like, obviously it could blow up someone's game. It could put a target on somebody. She kind of seemed to be doing it for funsies, which I don't know if that'd be my top priority out there. But this, boy, does this seem like this has a real possibility to blow up in her face if she can't find that idol. I'd love to know. Let's start off with Julie. What did you think of that move?
So everybody makes Survivor their own game. I get it, but I didn't understand it. Because what's the reward? Like I'm good with taking risks, but if the only reward is that you can get them to turn on Tim, isn't that a better way to do that? Because it's only got blowing up all over it. And it looked like either it's a preview for next week, Tim's on tour. It looks like. And I'm like, where's she gonna go? What is she gonna do? I can see if she now it would be so hard for her to like plant it, get the key, get the advantage, and do all that and fake and put a fake immunity idol. She's not gonna have time for that. But then you've at least thrown off the scent. Now all she's got is a disaster on her hands. Yeah.
Yeah, I
What do you think,
completely
Owen?
agree.
Yeah.
No, I like there's I don't see the upside at all. Like you think I try to think of these as like the percentage of it blowing up in your face or the percentage chance of it going wrong and like for what reward. And I don't really see much upside here. So yeah, I think this falls into the winning tribitis kind of category. Just like she
You're
wants to play.
bored.
I don't blame her. Certainly you want to
Right.
have fun and do things, but yeah, it makes me nervous. We'll see how it pans out for her. It seems, at least for the moment, to have put some suspicion on Tim, which she might start feeling comfortable that like, ooh, my master plan is working. But I wouldn't have done it myself personally.
Yeah.
And so they've got to lose. So if they lose next, and then she has to get back to camp, like if I'm in the camp, I'm like, hey, let's buddy up because
Yeah.
I'm going to be looking to see who's out there looking.
Yep. And
Yep.
then she's gonna be running around like a maniac, like Tiffany was, having to go all over the place to get the key, get the box.
Yep.
Yeah, it won't exactly be a stealth operation.
Yeah, if I'm Tim and I'm feeling heat from this, I'd be like, I'll stay at camp all day. There's no idol for me out there. Let's see who goes running out. And so, yeah, like a great point, Julia. That's 100% where my brain was going with that. So, yeah. Yeah, just like I like Jim, but like that was when it was like, oh, that's fun. And then the more I thought about it, like that seems like it's a lot of trouble. Getting into what happened, obviously, Banu went home. Poor Banu. Both Drew, Basile, and we weren't sure if it was Drew or Basile because he bet if he lost, he would have done the next Power Rankings naked, which I appreciate that enthusiasm. I don't know if I need to direct it in that direction. So it might have been Basile who was doing the Power Rankings last week. And Brandon Donlin, they both, shocker, picked Banu last in spot 15. So the current score right now is Reba 4 -1 +1 is 45. Gordon's wonderful all-stars of victory, 41. So they still got a 4-point lead. And looking into the message board, not a single, like last week, not a single person called Randon going home. This week, 93% of the message board got it right. Which,
good job, y'all.
You know, and normally I'd be very worried that a leak had happened or some kind of spoiler, but I think we were on this. That I don't think anybody was shocked by that. So at spot 15, we've got Charlie Schechter, Survivor Drip, Braden Anders, B Lemon, Rat Gravity, Huffy 901, J.M. Chap, Dylan W, Kristen Dicker, Ice Kafefi, Lean S, Okender, Cody Brahman, C Blazer C, Andrew Gulia, Stephen M, HMP Staff, Potato Dog, love you, Potato Dog, and Perfect Star, Sloan Comments Things, JP15 is me, Badass the Great, Zian Ramos, Kevin A, Brandon Davey, Shot in the Dark. If you guys want to grab a snack, this is going to take like half an hour. Am Long 14, Phoebe Little, Joel M. Gallagher, Karasu, Mal Sparks, Jag 519, Saxophonia, Chris Hamelin, Ghetto Hamster, Kendra McClanahan, Nathan Bomber. I made up half of these, by the way. Logan Smith, Stratsa, Nadia X01, Sociocracy Potato, Rowan 3123, Vincent Maestas, Baby Fox, Do, Madeline, Sean Gahan, Nikki 20, Carpe Diem, Survivor Fan Dan, Eric Swain, Jakey Morgan, Evan Swihart, Ferret Bandit, all had him in spot 15. Like Nostradamus. I don't know how everybody figured that out. Very impressive. At spot 14, we have the Gamblers, Yuki, PR, 2LM, Dominic Riesland, and Jason Yao. And we had a lone person in the worst spot of the week. So we're sending out cyber hugs, if you're willing to appreciate them, to Kanado, who had Banu in spot 10. Again, not even like the worst spot, like not even a bad spot. So honestly, you know, I feel like there was a chance that, you know, that Yanu could have won the immunity challenge. So you can't count that against him. But yeah, so Kanado, again, keep your chin up. There's still plenty of time left, plenty of points still on the board. All right, the rules for the Survivor Power Rankings are as follows. Each week, a member from each team will create separate Power Rankings. The ranking of the person who is voted out of the next episode will determine the number of points the players will earn. For example, if Tiffany is voted out of this episode and Julie has her in first place and Owen has her in third place, Julie's team will receive 1 point and Owen's team will receive 3 points. That sounds awesome, by the way. I don't want Tiffany to go, but I would love our team to get some points. At the end of the season, the team with the most overall points will be named the Survivor 46 Power Rankings Challenge Champions. And if that happens, I have to buy the Reba Four -1 +1 sandwiches because Austin likes sandwiches. Also, if my team loses and it's Frannie's fault, which doesn't seem likely, we all get to be in Frannie's wedding. Apparently, like I love the betting that's happening this season. If Banu did not go home, then Drew was going to have to buy Brandon and I DoorDash, which unfortunately did not happen, which is a shame because I have expensive taste, Drew. I was going to get something real expensive. Important note, rankings are not based on who the player thinks is most likely to win the entire season. The smart strategy is to rank players based on how safe you think they are in the upcoming vote. All right, everybody ready to rock and roll?
Yes, sir.
Ready.
All right, Julie, start us off with spot number 1.
Okay. I do need to do some groundwork because I am basing my number 1 on the fact that I think Yanu is not going to tribal because I love you nodding. Oh, and because I'm thinking, I mean, those 3, if it goes 3-3-3, those Yanu, Kenzie, Q, and Tiffany are stronger than everybody but Hunter. So I think Yanu, I'm banking it on Yanu not going to tribal.
We got to believe in something, Julie. I agree. We got to hope.
they gotta come back. I'm hoping. So that makes me think that Tiffany is the safest because I can't imagine Kenzie and Q teaming up against her. So I think she's in the best spot. So she's my number one.
Okay.
My artist, my fellow artist, I'm also rooting for. It's hard to put your personal preference into these. Okay. Yeah, that's mine. Yeah.
All right. Owen, who's your number one?
All right. I agree. I do not think Yanu is going to lose, but I still feel really good about my number one. I'm going with Charlie as my number one. I really love the position he set himself up in over on Siga. Him and Maria kind of in the middle position. They can kind of dictate what's going on. We've seen in the Next Time on Survivor the kind of brewing feud between Tim and Jem. And I think Maria and Charlie are going to be kind of the decision makers of how that turns out. But yeah, you will hear Tiff's name soon on my list.
Maybe pretty important about Charlie. When he made his leap, he yelled out Taylor Swift.
He sure did.
Quick aside, Owen, Julie, what would you have yelled jumping off? Like now that that's apparently a thing that's going to happen forever now.
Oh man, it's probably just like a cowabunga or something like that. Great. I don't know. I wouldn't have tried to shout anyone out. If I was doing it tomorrow, I'd say bring back 2 tribes, maybe. But besides that, I can't think of anything.
Well done.
Yeah, I'm just a woohooer. I mean, it's going to be something if I can get something out. But that was pretty funny.
We did an immunity. Like when we go out there as the Survivor press, we had done a challenge in Nicaragua where we had to like dig through a bale of hay to look for puzzle pieces. And Jeff had been giving me grief. My team was running behind and he said, move your fat butt, Gordon, or something like that. And I like dove into the hay while saying, I'm very sensitive about my weight, Probst.
Come on, Gordon, move that fat ass.
Wow.
I'm very sensitive about my weight, Probst. Oh, yeah. That is how you do it.
So that might be like my go-to. That might be what I use going forward.
That's incredible. That's great.
All right, Owen, what do you got in 2?
Number 2, I kind of gave it away in my first one, but I've got Maria in number 2. I don't see the 2 of them going anywhere, even if Siga were to lose. So yeah, it's she has really impressed me. I mean, even from the opening challenge when she was carrying that box on her back, she's super strong. I love her willingness to work with Charlie and kind of see the game from kind of that upper level where she's seeing how the pieces are falling on the tribe. And I think them 2 are in a really good position.
I love it. I am just still holding, I'm giving it away. I'm putting my first 3 that they don't go to tribal and I will be screaming at the TV. So I've got Kenzie as my second.
Wow.
That's where, and see, now this makes me look like I'm just naive because I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best here. And I'm going to blame my coworkers because we spent a good time going through this. But I also think, here's why. Like, I think Tiffany would line up with Q and vote out because Bonnie has already gone back to the other tribe and has outed Tiffany and Q is tight. And so Tiffany's got to show she's not tight with Q. So I think, okay, this is Julie who's eaten and slept and thinking through. And I get that they're tired and I don't know if she's thinking right. But if she was thinking through it, if she could keep Kenzie, then she's now separated her from Q. And now Kenzie's the mastermind. She's got a target. That's where I was going. And of course, it's because I'm putting so much on Tiffany. I think she's good. So I think she chooses Kenzie. And then I've got her second.
Okay.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. That I like the logic there a lot, like keeping Kenzie as the shield, reducing her own threat level. I love what you're saying there. And that's going to make it fun to watch this week because I do not have the 3 of them stacked at the top. So now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to root for their downfall, I guess, to try to maximize our points here.
Now I feel like I should spread out the other 2, but I found my eggs in them. Oh,
no, I love it. I love you're saying it with your whole chest. I respect that a lot. You're going all in.
Yeah, so then I did Q next. So that's what I did. I did Tiffany, Kenzie, Q. And yeah, I should spread that. Can we change it? Nope, can't change it. I blocked it in. Fine. I'm going.
The rules are extremely strict, Julie.
You gotta commit, Julie.
This good. We were like, oh yeah, we talk smack. Okay. Yeah. That's it. So I'm done. It's up to you, Owen.
Okay, before we move on, Julie, you
Yeah.
mentioned a potential bet. And I'd love to follow up on that. I'd love to get that on the record.
Right. So yeah, I'm gonna owe for my Reba Four-ish team. I will send y'all my cupcakes.
I bet
Yeah,
they're
I
good.
got all kinds of flavors. We talked about it on the island, and I make them all the time. I'm currently doing Girl Scout cookies ones. So we got the s'mores and the tag-alongs and that. So we'll see what
In
comes
cupcake
along
form?
in cupcake
Oh
form.
my gosh.
Dibs on s'mores.
We must win, Gordon. We
The
gotta
s'mores, no, I did. My daughter did toast the coconuts. I'm still having a hard time with coconuts.
Oh,
so
me too. Me
the
too.
toasted coconuts on top I did not. I just sprinkled. I couldn't toast them.
You got
But
at
yeah.
least another year of avoiding coconut. So it's still stuck with me. But
Yeah.
it's funny.
Yeah.
I worked at a cupcake store in high school. So I'm very invested in this bet now.
Yeah, this got real serious, Owen. We need this.
Yeah, no more foolishness, Gordon. We got to get our act together here.
All right, spot three to Owen.
So nervous right now. I'm putting it on the line. Okay.
I love it. I love it. I love the commitment. I've got Tiffany in my third spot here, the top on Yanu.
Okay.
I love what you're saying. I completely agree that it seems unlikely that Kenzie and Q would band together against her. I think Tiffany's going to have the choice if they lose. And I really liked what you were saying about the potential for cutting Q there. It's making me question my own list. But yeah, I think Tiff is a great player. She seems super social. She's shown well in challenges and she's just likable. Like you just like talking to her. She's so funny. Oh my God. When she said, if you want to win 1 million hearts, go volunteer. I cackled. I was laughing so hard at that. I felt a little bad for Banu, but it was so funny.
Oh, you mean poor Banu?
Poor Banu. Sorry, poor Banu. That's his full legal name now.
Oh no.
Number 4, I've got another amazing social player. I've got Tevin in my 4 spot. I think he is the nexus of Nami. I think he has a long run in him. I don't think just to get a little like on the TV show side of it, I don't think he would have had that opening confessional if he got clipped this early. You know, I think he's got a lot of story left in the overarching season here. I loved the scene about his father this week. I thought that was really beautiful. I thought production handled that really well, the way they shared that story. And he seems like we talked a little bit. He might be getting a little itchy to make a move, but I don't see the momentum shifting against him if Nami were to lose, which I don't think they will.
Okay, so this is for number 4. Okay, so I don't have Tevin that high. One, because of the fabulous father story. I feel like he did the opening because it was so good. Like
it was
I don't
so
know
good. You got a point.
If that means he's got longevity, like that did play, you know, you still got to take in the edit, but it was just so good. And he's already gotten this fabulous scene with his dad. So he didn't get as high for me. I don't know. And he's just going to war with Soda. I don't know. I feel like they're big characters. So the reason I'm bringing that up is because I do think that if Nami does go to tribal, which I'm not really thinking, but for some reason, I feel like we got big players we got Tevin and Soda. And I think Liz is completely forgotten. Like, I get that she annoyed people. I'm so rich with my little tweet that was on with me, but I get it. But I just think she's not on the radar and they're going to use her in a battle. So I think she's pretty safe if they go. So I've got her at 4.
But
okay.
I would say, like, if someone's walking around being like, I'm so rich, I'd be like, come with me to the end. Let's be my buddy. Let's
right? She's perfect. So that being said, now I've got to look at my notes. Okay, so I'm switching it up because my next one's obviously I put all my eggs in the Yanu basket. So now I got to switch up because, like, literally, do we know what's going to happen next week? Like, I don't feel like we have much information. I'm just saying that. So I'm going to start baking my cupcakes. But sorry, Reba Four-ish. But if Siga does go to tribe, which that's what I'm guessing. I just think so. But I also think Maria is super safe. Does she still have an extra vote from when she did
I believe she has to use it the first time she goes to tribal.
So when she goes to tribal, she will have an extra vote. Unless she thinks the Beware advantage is legit and she's lost her vote.
I wonder
Right.
then if
That
she
she
thinks
found.
she lost both votes or just one. Who knows? There's so
Who
many,
knows what she's
so
thinking?
many rules now.
Right. I imagine she
Yeah.
thinks she will get to the voting confessional and get met with the you can't vote. And then if she doesn't have it, doesn't show up, she's free to that's very interesting to make somebody feel they've lost an advantage, but they actually in fact have it. How do they learn the truth?
Right.
Yeah.
I guess. But anyway, I feel like they're gonna suss it out with the whole thing, but who knows. But that being said, I still think she's safe. Because like she kind of lost it for him. No blame on that because that was hard, but like no one blamed her.
Yeah.
Right? Like they all get back and they're all like, don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm like Ben, who keeps saying, no, I'm gonna wait for somebody to have a reason. And that's not even a reason. So I just feel like she's good. I
Yeah.
think she is really lock solid. So I'm excited about her. No one blamed
That's a really
her.
good point. Because like even maybe in a confessional, someone might have been a little annoyed or anything, but not even a hint.
Nothing.
Yeah, not a
Yeah,
peep.
Nothing.
You've got
That's a
Ben
really
who's
good point,
like,
Julie.
Ben's like, hey, it didn't rock, but it didn't suck. Like that. I feel like that would be like the Ben.
That's great. All right. So in spot 5, I've got Liz. Julie, I loved what you were saying about her kind of becoming an important piece if Nami goes to war. Soda and Tevin seem to maybe be looking at a potential split there. So yeah, I think Liz would be an important chess piece on the board for one of them. I agree. Like, I wasn't sure what she was getting at with talking about her successful businesses and whatnot. Like, I don't even think I know if it was a strategy or not to try to get taken to the end as some sort of master plan. But either way, she's grown on me a lot. I think she's pretty funny. And yeah, I think she's in a pretty good spot right now over on Nami. And then in my 6th spot, I have Hunter. I don't think Hunter's going home, but there is the possibility if they were to lose somehow that maybe they go big game hunting. They think, okay, this is the last tribal before the merge. Hunter could win every single challenge. He's such a freak athlete. Now's the time to get him out. We might as well now. But I don't really think that could happen. But there's a non-zero chance that it could.
Yep. So my 6, as I'm looking, as I said, I do think Nami is safe. But if they go to tribal, now my feelings are it's Tevin and Soda are the power players, and I think, which means Venus, which is why she's my 6, is just going to be used as a number. I mean, I don't think she told anyone else that she doesn't like Hunter except for Ramden, and he's gone. So she can cover that. So she hasn't made a target on herself for that reason. Like, I know that there's issues. I tell you, I don't know what's going to happen next episode, but right now I feel like Venus is my 6. I just think she'll be used as a number, and I don't know which way though, between Tevin and Soda, but she's my 6. And then I've got Tevin as 7. Yeah, I don't think that Soda will be able to turn Hunter against him. Like, I feel like Hunter is good with Tevin. So in the war between Tevin and Soda, I feel like Tevin is safer. So he's my 7.
You think the Andy Griffith Alliance is going to hold out?
Yeah.
For right now, they're aligned.
Okay.
Who knows come merge?
Yeah.
If they make it.
We shall see. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think Tevin is in a really good spot there. And him and Hunter, I love just seeing that duo come together. And it's such an unlikely pair, but they seem to work really well together and like each other. And it's cool. It's cool. That's what the show's about,
Yeah.
Different walks of life and all that. All right, so 7 to me. I have Ben, our rock star here.
Okay.
I know we were talking about Charlie and Maria in the driver's seat, but I just feel like Ben is just such like the glue guy for Siga. Like, he seems to be kind of the like, what did Tim call him? Like the dean of culture or something like that in episode 1. He just seems to be setting the tone. I love the way he handled Maria kind of beating herself up after the reward challenge, like we were talking about. Like, he was really, really sweet, and he seems like a really good dude. And I love his confessionals, just like as an aside. I think he's hilarious. Like, I just love watching him and just the way he talks. Like, he's so funny. And yeah, I even if the Charlie and Maria pair goes with Mo and Jem to vote out one of the guys, I don't think it'll be Ben. I think Tim would be in
Interesting.
a worse position of the two guys if
Yeah.
Charlie and Maria swing that way. So I think Ben
Oh,
is in a pretty solid spot.
Now,
I agree with that.
as players in the game, I don't know how closely you interact with John Kerhofer. He's the challenge producer
Mhm.
for Survivor, and he loves music, especially rock music. His office is just wallpapered with like 80s rock posters. So he must be loving Ben. Every time Ben says something about like he mentioned Van Halen, I'm like, oh, Kerhofer's just got to be like, wow, loving it.
Yeah. No, I've noticed some of the names of challenges are like music
Mhm.
adjacent. So
That's
I
why.
got to figure he had a hand in that. Yeah.
That's why.
That's awesome.
So 8, I've got Mo. Similar
Okay.
reasons. I think of
Hmm.
the pair of the dominoes that would fall after Charlie and Maria make their decision. I think Jem would be more likely to go home than Mo if Charlie and Maria choose to go with the guys, basically. Mo, I think I loved her scene this week with the jumping and her vertical, and I just that was so goofy and fun, and one of those camp moments that happen all the time out there, but we didn't get to see prior to the 90-minute episode. So I had fun with that. And we haven't seen a ton from her, but I feel like she's like maintaining a solid low threat level. I feel like she's making connections. Her and Jem seem to be tight. Um, and yeah, I feel like just with all this idol shenanigans going on over there,
Yeah.
if there's a fallout, I don't think Mo would be in too much danger with that.
Okay.
Huh.
All right. 8 to you,
That's
Julie.
good. I feel like she would be in danger, but I can't make it make sense over there. So you might be right. I'm
We'll
not
see.
sure.
It is. I mean, that's what's so fun about this. Is like there's so many
Yep.
different ways this could go, and it's
And we haven't
awesome.
seen too much. We don't know how it's going to shake out.
No.
Yes. So I've got my 8 as Charlie because I think he's safe. I mean, he's got his Maria and his angels, and I think he's safe. I just got him low because which is not low. He's mid. I feel like he's safe. Maybe I should have him higher in my Yanu not so high, but it's done. It is
It's
done.
done.
It
You
has been
committed.
talked about. So
Down
yeah,
That ship has
that's my 8.
sailed.
And my number 9, I've got as Hunter because I think he's safe. I do worry about him for the future.
Mhm.
I can see them getting win. I mean, I know he hasn't shown his intelligence yet, but they should take him out. But I don't know if they know this yet. So he is safe for now. I just don't know for how long. I'm looking at my notes. So yeah.
No, I agree. I'm nervous for him. I mean,
Yeah.
I tweeted this out during the episode, but if I was on green, if I was on Sega and I saw Purple walk into the challenge intact, the cameras totally would have caught me saying something like, man, I hope Hunter hit his head or something. Like
Right.
I hope he got medevaced because he's just such a difference maker, and I'm sure everybody notices. And yeah, the guy's a total package.
Yep.
It's dangerous.
Yep.
All right, so 9 to me, I have Q. Kind of like you were talking about with the dynamics over on Yanu. I don't think it's the most likely scenario, but I actually, you have me rethinking. I really liked your thought process on the merits of Tiffany voting out Q. I think that would be smarter than voting out Kenzie, but I didn't think of that. So I have Q here at number 9 above Kenzie. I think he's, especially as the merge is getting closer, kind of similar to what I was saying about Hunter. If they lose again, it's like, well, he didn't help us win any challenges anyway. We might as well get him out before he starts winning them for himself.
Right.
So that was my logic.
Right.
Yeah, and Julie, you're new to this. There is no higher praise than somebody saying, you have me rethinking. That means you hit an angle that somebody else wasn't thinking of, and I wasn't thinking
No,
of that either.
100%.
So well done.
No, when you said that, I was like, that is genius. Like, yeah, it made total sense to me, both from like the offensive and defensive side of strategy. Like, that was really smart. So yeah, that could be a move if they lose.
We still want you to lose, and
Yeah,
we
yeah,
still want
but I
cupcakes.
respect your game.
But
Yeah,
well done.
exactly. Yeah.
Kudos.
So in my number 10, I've got Soda at 10. I don't think she's in the most danger on Nami because I felt like they were more kind of giving us the sprinkles of potential, distrust down the line of a move that might happen later. I still think it would be a little too early for Tevin and Soda to go against each other. I feel like they could do a lot of damage together in the post-merge game. So I'm hoping she doesn't go home yet, because she's a really great character. I've enjoyed watching her a lot. But I do think it's possible. I really do. It seemed like Liz and Hunter were open to the idea. I liked the way Tevin was pitching it, and it made a lot of sense for everybody. And Hunter seemed to be really like seeing the vision that it would bring him closer to Tevin to take out Soda. So she's certainly on the table here as we get into the double digits towards the danger zone here.
We are in the danger zone.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So in the danger zone, I've got Ben is 10 because I get it, but I feel like this is all because we're getting down thinking that Siga's going to tribal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking Ben could go. So he's kind of safe as far as I'm concerned with Siga, but he's down here because I think Siga could go. One is because I think so I've got him higher than some because the fact that he won't pick a side and he's like not naming names, I can't see them pinning the box beware hidden thing on him. I'm like, that doesn't rock. I don't see them thinking that that's him. And so, but I also put him low because he won't pick. So are they going to be like, well, are you with me? Or start at some point, Ben, you got to align. So he's in scary territory for me. So I've got him at 10. And then for 11, I've got Jem because I feel like they're going to be on to her. She's done this risky thing, but I don't have her too far down because I'm kind of thinking, but now that we've talked, I'm like rethinking because surely she's got access to this idol, right? Like, I think if they lose and they go to tribal, go get it. But is she going to have to play it safe and not be able to? Like at this point, she's already made a risk. So I'm kind of thinking, surely she's just going to say, yep, it was me, and then run and go get it. But is she going to do that? I don't know. But I think so. She's in territory danger, but I still am kind of thinking she's just got to rip the Band-Aid off. So I kind of think she's a little bit safer. So I've got her as 11.
I like it. We're in a very similar spot here. I actually also have Jem at 11, so we got a lock this week.
Shut up.
Yep, I love it. It's funny. I was making these, and then I like was talking in my head all about like she did this crazy thing, hiding the box, this and that, and then I was like, oh wait, that does mean she has the clue. Like she does have it. So she probably won't go home, but this is putting a ton of suspicion onto her, and I like the way you explained it. Like she might be held hostage at camp. She might not be able to go look for it. So there's a chance for sure. And then on to 12, I've got Kenzie there. I think. Yeah. So, and again, I regret doing this, but I've locked in my picks. I got to do it. But I think just she is the type of player that would scare me a little bit to play with. Just seeing the way she was her apology to Banu, came off so genuine, even though in confessional she was like, yeah, I'll just go say sorry or whatever. And then it just like, it felt really real. And
she's good.
All those hours at the salon, Julie, I'm telling you, she knows how to talk. Like
they better get her out soon.
Yeah.
I just think
she's dangerous.
I'm just putting they have got Banu gone. They're going to win. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
No,
I'm still defending my Yanu's not going to tribal.
No, I really don't want them to go to tribal. I completely agree. It would be better for the season. It would be better for everybody if they didn't go.
It's hard to make these rankings and not put your wants in it. It's very
exactly.
hard. So,
we got like I said before, we got to believe in something.
Yeah.
So that's why I have her at the top of my bottom 3 people. But I think she is in the most danger there. But I see the merits of voting Q too.
Yeah. I just am rethinking after listening to you, but I've got Mariah as 12. Mo, one, it was cute, but she couldn't jump. And like that made good TV. But if I'm a tribe mate, I'm like, but it all depends on Charlie and Maria. Are they going to align with the girls? Or are they going to align with the boys? And I just felt like Ben, because I saw his secret scene of getting fish. I'm feeling like they're going to align with boys. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it, but like it was just when you start going down, I'm like, Mo, you got to go. I think. I don't know. I hope not. I like her, but I just don't think she's very safe.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And then I got to reveal my 13th.
You're 13.
So my 13th, I've got Soda.
Mm.
I mean, if they go to tribal, she is she's made herself a target. She kind of reminds me a little bit of Caleb from my season. She's fabulous. Okay. Everyone loves her. But if you're a friend to everyone, that's what happened. Tevin's watching her do it, and he's like, wait a minute. So that's where I got her. I don't think it's safe for her. But I mean, it's odd if they go to tribal, but still, I'm feeling she might. I got her low.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I went a different direction. I have Venus at 13.
Fair.
But I think Soda's is a very strong possibility too. I just think it would be a little early. I'm not 100% sure. And I kind of went for a safer bet here just because, I don't know. Venus seems to really just be struggling. Like she had nothing and then she found Randon and then he got this, miraculously terrible injury. And it's just, she's getting the Charlie Brown Award so far for just things going poorly for her.
The Owen Knight Memorial.
The Owen Knight Memorial, Charlie Brown plaque goes to Venus for right now. Yeah, she's just in a tough spot. That seems like even it broke my heart, honestly, when she was trying to talk to Soda a couple episodes ago. And Soda was like, yeah, maybe we can talk later. And, Soda had picked up the vibes that no one else was really feeling Venus and is kind of, separate herself. Right? And that made me sad.
I have a lot of thoughts on that, but yeah.
Yeah, that was hard. That was hard to watch. That would have really hurt my feelings if I was Venus there. But so I'm nervous for her.
That's fair. That's fair.
And then now in my final spot, I do have Tim. Yep. I realized it. So unfortunately, if he goes home, I have made no progress towards our team here. But
and our cupcakes.
I mean, getting a little like reading into things like the fact that his secret scene about him missing his family was a secret scene, that is not great prospects for certainly his winner potential. And it makes me nervous for him. To me, I think it boils down to me feeling like Charlie is the type of man who is more willing to work with women versus like Maria, like is more likely to want to keep the women together, if that makes sense. Like if push comes to shove, I can see Charlie being more okay with siding with Mo and Jem versus Maria being okay with voting one of the other women out. That's just my read on the situation.
Yes.
I liked Charlie's confessional about how, everyone he's worked for has been women. He loves working with women. He's like comfortable with it. That's great because I think the oversimplified like bros alliances are just kind of goofy. Versus I see the merits of like women's alliances, like trying to protect each other a little bit, just since the early game, especially in the 6-member format, is kind of stacked against them to a certain degree. So I am nervous for Tim. We have not seen a ton from him. He seems like a very normal, capable, nice guy, but we just haven't gotten a lot of Tim. We have a heck of a lot of Banu and no Tim.
Right? Well, which is why that he's my number 14 as well. Jem's done a great job of putting a target on him. Mm-hmm. It did look like he's on to Jem. I can't tell, but I still think it feels like Tim and Jem are the ones that are out. So I'm thinking Jem's going to be able to save herself with the idol if she can get to it, but we will see, that's all. It's going to be interesting how this plays out. But I just think Tim's going, which makes me sad because I'd like to know more about Tim.
Me too. I'm curious, Julie, because we both arrived at the same conclusion, and mine was just like a gut feeling. Like I just felt like Siga was going. Like I hope Yanu wins, and then I was just like, I guess Siga. I don't know. Like, was there anything in the show, or are you just going on a hunch?
No, I just felt like Hunter was going to pull it out for Nami.
Yeah.
Like
he's such an X factor.
For me, I'm going strictly on physical. Who's winning the next challenge? So you don't got to be first. You just can't be last. And
And getting last with Hunter on your tribe is pretty hard.
I mean, unless he sits out and they throw it. That was the only thing that made me almost, but he just doesn't seem like the throw it kind of challenge person. So
not at all.
Other than that, it means that it's either Yanu or Nami. So that's where we go.
Where we go.
All right, the picks are locked in, and the rules are extremely strict. They cannot be changed. Enter your picks in the comment section below. Feel free to keep score. Play along. I think we can all agree on the honor system here. We had 2 locks this week. We had Jem in spot 11 and Tim in spot 14. And the disparity of the week there was quite a disparity. Julie had Kenzie in spot 2, while Owen had her in spot 12. So I love Kenzie. You got to go. You got to go, Kenzie.
We need them points.
I need those points. I need those cupcakes. If you enjoy this,
you can do all the cupcakes.
I need the s'mores cupcakes
this Wednesday.
Oh, love it. If you enjoyed this video, and again, if you've been here for like an hour, I hope you do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, gently nudge the subscribe button. Julie, you did it. Julie was very nervous, and she killed it. She did
Julie.
an
Great
absolutely
job.
fantastic job. So it was such a blast to have you here. You're awesome. Thank you so much for participating in this insanity.
So much fun.
Yeah, Owen, you're an old pro. You're a seasoned veteran. You're
Happy
the wind
to be
beneath
back,
my
man.
wings. Love having you back. So join us next week where Kellie Nalbandian is going to square off against Frannie Marin one-on-one to the death. Not to the death. They're just picking names. It's not that serious. But until next time, for Julie, for Owen, for myself, thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you next week for even more of the Survivor 46 Power Rankings.
Bye.
Bye.
Ow.